Hello, welcome back to the James Ramblin' Reviews for yet another episode, and this time we're actually going to be talking about House of the Dragon Season 2 Episode 2. We're going to be continuing that series that we started last week, or last Friday, but we're going to be doing it every single Monday now. I did mention that in the community tab post I put out earlier today or later on, a couple hours ago, an hour ago, whatever. So there was that, but we've also got a link of how I'm going to have a link in the description of the House of Dragon Season 1 and the Season 2 reviews that will be coming out week by week. There's a background image behind me that on Spotify listeners won't be able to see that, but I'll just mention that it's got Rhaenyra and Alicent and the House of the Dragon HBO Max logo and stuff like that. I'll be having that for most of the reviews that we'll be covering on this review show kind of thing. So there's that. So I'll get into my thoughts on this episode, the plot, and how I'd rate it out of 10, but before I get into that, I'll quickly mention that I'm actually not going to be spoiling anything in this review, so if you're coming here expecting some spoiler-free, then a spoiler-filled episode of discussion of this episode, no, we won't be doing that. So there's that. But so House of the Dragon Season 2 Episode 2 picks up where the first episode of Season 2 picked up of, where you got to see this whole thing happen at the end of that episode and how these characters reacted and responded to the situation. Everybody's kind of going crazy here, and we're still sort of building up to this war that's going to be happening between these houses and stuff like that, and we're creating reasons as to why we want to hate each other, and there's that kind of stuff going on. It's one of the more emotional episodes in this series, I would say. Like, it's very sad at times. There's characters even crying while they're trying to speak. There's a lot kind of going on there. There's a lot to unpack in this episode. And so that is kind of what this episode is about. We see a bit more of an emotional side of things to these characters and what they are going through. So how do I actually feel about this episode? So I know I'm somebody that's been a very big fan of House of the Dragon Season 1. I did really enjoy Season 2 Episode 1, but I would have to say that I actually enjoyed this episode far better and far more than the first episode of Season 2. And what do I actually mean by that? So this episode, right, it kind of feels a bit faster. There's more going on in this episode. You get to see a bit more stuff going on. You get to learn a bit more about the characters and what they're going through. You also get to see a lot more powerful performances from these actors, because especially the guy who plays Otto Hightower, he steals the show. I would say he's probably the Season 2 equivalent of Paddy Considine, who was Viserys in Season 1, because Viserys in Season 1, he was one of the best actors that stole the show, and who plays Otto Hightower is absolutely stealing the show in this episode. I was taken aback by the fact that he was just shouting, he was projecting his voice, and you could tell that he was taking himself seriously, and a lot of these actors know what they're doing. So there's that. And I did mention in the last review that about Olivia Wilde, but it's not Olivia Wilde, it's Olivia Cooke, and she is very good as Alicent, but she kind of does take a back seat in this episode, and we kind of have a bit more about Aegon and Otto Hightower and what they're going through and their motivations and what they're going to be planning next and stuff like that, and they have a whole argument and there's a lot going on. And it was a very good episode to watch, but it does kind of slow down after the first 30 minutes, and that is kind of to be expected within a character-driven kind of drama where we're going to have those discussions happening. But for me, the episode is not like the first 30 minutes was my favourite parts, because it was just so tense to watch. And then yes, there is actually a very good scene in the last 10 to 15 minutes with these two twins, and I won't say much, as I did say I don't want to spoil this episode for anybody, but it is a very good scene that kind of sets this example of what was going on in the scene and stuff like that, and it was an amazing scene, so I'll just say that. So out of 10, I would give this episode maybe like a 7.5 to about an 8 out of 10, because I really did enjoy this episode. I do want to see more from this universe of House of the Dragon. I want to see how Season 2 continues, and I would say this is a vast improvement from Season 1, because we're actually getting to see more things happening, more things are starting to pick up, we can see more things happening, so there's that. And I tried to record this video quite a few times because it's a lot to take in with episodes like these, but it is good that we're watching this weekly, so then I actually have a refreshed memory on everything that's going on and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this review of the James Rambling Reviews series. We're talking about House of the Dragon Season 2. So I'll see you next time for another review on these kind of things that we're going to be talking about. So yeah, bye. House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 2. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check us out on Spotify, on YouTube of course, and then we'll have the playlist and all of that good stuff, man. So yeah, bye.